It's been said that a man is the sum of his memories, that to look into the future we must learn about the past. But have we really got the power to change what's to come? Well, of course we have to a certain extent. We're forever making everyday decisions like where to go shopping or whether to take the bus or train to work. But every so often we make more fork-in-the-road choices, don't we? What to do about relationships, where to move house to, where to go on holiday as well. And history is the same, full of everyday smaller decisions and more fork-in-the-road turning point ones as well. For example, what would have happened if Winston Churchill hadn't been the Prime Minister during World War II? Or what would the future have held if one of the assassination attempts on Queen Victoria had been successful? After all, her family went on to fill the royal palaces of Europe. I'm here to visit Hurst Spit, which stretches a mile from the mainland out into the sea, and in doing so protects the coast to the east of it. And what better way to visit such a spot than by boat? It's the shingle ridge of the Spit you can see behind me, and it protects the mudflats and salt marshes this side of it from the full force of the Atlantic to the southwest. In doing so, it safeguards the future of many internationally renowned flora and fauna, lapwing, sea campion, black-headed gulls, and many other types of wading bird among them. The Spit is the result of thousands of years of longshore drift, carrying shingle and rock debris from the coasts of Devon and Dorset in the west and depositing them on this rocky outcrop. It shifted and changed and even moved quite some distance over the previous centuries, been under threat from the weather before, but never has it been in the danger that it is today in the 21st century. At the eastern end of the Spit lies Hurst Castle, one of Henry VIII's string of coastal defences completed in 1544 to protect England against invasion from Europe. Charles I was imprisoned here, it was increasingly fortified during the Napoleonic Wars, and it even saw action during World War II. Today, the castle provides an ideal vantage point from which to appreciate the significance of Hurst Spit. With the fragile Dorset coast to the west, the Isle of Wight to the south, and, looking eastwards, the cities of Southampton and Portsmouth. Now my question to the future is this: what would the effect be on each and every one of us if the Spit weren't here? Now nobody would argue that conservation is important, but what some people find less palatable is the cost. But the cost of not having the Spit here in real human terms could be far, far greater. I asked Dr. Ian West of the National Oceanography Centre at Southampton University about the significance of the Spit and how it came to be here.
The English Channel, it has been formed by flooding of a valley over the last 10,000 years. So various spits like the Chesil Beach have moved back inland as the English Channel gets larger, and it's getting larger now, and this spit also will move and is moving inland. In 1979 there was a serious breakthrough. I actually saw that one, came down here and saw the flooding that was taking place behind the bank and saw where the water was surging over the top. It didn't flatten the main part of the beach, it just produced a sort of gap, and that gap then was filled in and things lasted for some time, but it was a warning of what was to come. That was 1979. 1989 it happened again, but it was worse. On that occasion the whole beach between Milford and the castle here was more or less flattened. A large amount of shingle was lost because it was washed over into the marshes and the mudflats beyond. So that was really serious devastation. Now, if this Spit was not here, large Atlantic waves could go all the way down to Lyon and Solent, which would cause major erosion in that area. We would in effect have the West Solent turning into a part of the sea rather than a part of the estuary, because big waves would be attacking it.
Ian West, thank you very much indeed. So you see, the questions of saving natural features like Hurst Spit aren't just about conservation. They're about saving homes, jobs, cities, the very land we live on. As is so frequently the case, action little and often is the key. Now that man-made sea defences have meant the shingle of the spit can't be naturally replenished, taking steps to reinforce it artificially is something we can all ask the authorities to do. So you see, the demise of Hurst Spit could have grave consequences for the south coast overall. One particular casualty could be Southampton's Marchwood power station, which provides enough power for almost 1 million homes and covers an area the size of the New Forest, Southampton and Winchester combined. It's easy to think of the future in the short term and ask, have we really got the power to change what's to come? But you know, such decisions, they shouldn't be the choice of castle builders like Henry VIII. The answer is a definite yes.